Hello chess fans, today we are going to see an amazing game by Tarrasch. Yes, this time the main character isn't Chigorin, this time it's Tarrasch. It's time for him to take his revenge in the ninth game. Let's start the game in 4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Let's just breeze through the opening. We've seen this many times, like this is pretty standard. d4, a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3, d5. Some questionable move orders, but we reach the open Spanish, one of the most theoretical variations in all of e4. So bishop e6, c3, bishop c5, knight bd2. Now, main idea is well to take and play knight d2. Hmm, or we can just play queen e2 and pressure the knight. So now short castle, bishop c2. Yep, we are pressuring the knight to take, and now knight e7. The benefit of this line is that white gets a lot of play along these lines. Yes, so this is very good for a kingside attack, and white goes straight in knight g5, knight g6, and now queen e2. Queen h5 is a big threat. So queen d7. Now bishop e3 is played, and trying to exchange, and now bishop g4 attacking the queen. White now plays queen d3. What is the idea of this? Well, the idea is to play h4, h5, f3 to just kick the bishop out and then play h4, h5. Bishop takes c3, queen takes c3. Why queen takes c3? Why not f takes c3, opening the line? Well, firstly, we have the pawn structure good and nice. We can play f3 or f4. f4, f5 can be a really good asset. So that's why h6, and now e6. Black goes in, but white also goes in. You threaten my knight, I'll threaten your queen. So f takes c6 has to be played. If bishop takes c6, then just knight takes c6 and you lose a full piece. Because, well, so if after f takes c6, knight takes c6 is played. That's just a smart way to get one more pawn. And after queen takes c6, queen takes c6, bishop takes c6, bishop takes g6. Quite boring, but now white has no pawns more. But white has a really handy thing, which is the control of the e8 square. It usually wouldn't matter, but the E file is the only open file on the board. So I don't think it does. I wouldn't like to think that it doesn't matter. Oh. So, well, C5 is played and now rook FE1. What's the idea? Attacking the bishop. And now rook f6 is played because, well, rook f6 needs to be played, and now bishop h5, and now rook d8. d4 and trying to create a pass pawn is a really uh, nice thinking from white, because if white is distracted with the pass pawn, then black can exchange this bishop, and then uh, black will be happy. Rook f8, rook e1, and then rook d6. f4, and now comes the action. f5 is a guaranteed piece or mate, so well, g6 is played, and finally the bishop is kicked, but not without its minuses. So takes, and now f5. Now you have to do one of two things. Either not accept either accept the pawn or not accept the pawn. Black doesn't accept the pawn, but black still gets the pawn, but black gets the short end of the stick here because white gets another pawn with this, and now white is finally a pawn up. Rook e2, looking to even things up, But now takes, and now rook c6, attacking the pawn, but white is just one tempo late. Or is he? Well, double connected passed pawns on the king side can't hurt to do so. A5, A5, H4, A4, H. Now not H5, because firstly we want to stop opponent's passed pawns. Like this isn't just a pawn race. Rook C2. Black is also looking to create double connected passed pawns on the queen side. And now Rook A5. Oh, oh. If black takes here, then white takes and white is winning. And if black doesn't take, then still white takes and it is another trade. Well, and now white has two pawns, black has one pawn, but white has uh, double connected passes. So yeah, oh, this will be bad. King g6, rook a5. The worst form of passers are double connected passers, and black is going to absolutely suffer. A3, g3. Now there's a technique here. White will want to play rook a4, king h3, king g4, and then advance one file, and then do the same. So there's basically a technique to it, and you basically move on with the slowly until you reach the edge of the board. So rook c2, rook a2, king g4. Now because black plays rook a2, white doesn't have to do any of those steps. Rook a1, rook a6 check, king f7, king g5, and at this point it is just a guaranteed win. A2, just careful of the rook g1, and or else this position will turn from a win to a draw. Let's say white played h5, then rook g1 can be played. And now you need to stop this pawn, so takes. But now black takes, and after let's say king f4, rook g1 can be played, and there's not really a way to stop the king from getting to h8, so this position will be a draw. Okay, unlike this position, which is a win. So g4, king e7, rook a7 check, king e8, and now h5, h6, h7, and king g6, king g7, h8 is equal to queen. Can be a really nasty plan. King f8, and now h6. Oh, white's coming in for the win right now. H7, rook 8 check. No, black has to just give up the pawn and try to back rank safety, but there's another technique to it. You just check, rook f7, and if black wants to give long form checks, boom, stopped. And after rook b8, g5, if rook g8 check, then white will just remove his king, then play g6, and that will be bad. So rook f5, king g8, rook d5. Now comes the final step of the plan. Well, what is the final step of the plan? Well, after rook b8, king h5, rook a8, g6, king h8, rook f5, with the idea of rook f7 possibly. Or we can just play like g7 check, and really anything we want. So rook g8, and now g7 check, and black resigned. Why? Because after king h7, white will play a really nasty move, which is rook f8, and now suddenly you're stuck in a zugzwang. If you take on this pawn, well, here goes your rook. If you take this pawn, however, things get a little bit uh, things get a little bit complicated, because if you make a queen, there will be a stalemate, and if you make a rook, it will be still a stalemate. So you need to make a bishop or a knight to win? Yeah, you need this or this to win. Yeah, really shocking. Like imagine like grinding out that whole masterpiece just to queen and then get stalemate. So it's a really nasty tricks. We've got to watch out for those. So this was the game. Basically, what we learned is that to recap, well, White got an early attack. So basically, White got his positional advantage, which was the open file, to a material advantage slowly and steadily, and then he turned it into a win position. This game is just the personification of a grind. So this was the game. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon. Thank you.